You have a calling, you have a purpose, you have a dream, you have a mission on this planet that's unique to you that no one else can do. But you have been thinking about giving up on it. Am I right? If this is you, please keep watching because I have made this video for you. Each of us has a unique gift to deliver into this world, and when we don't deliver it, we suffer. Just like a goat, if you don't milk the goat when it has milk to give, it literally hurts the goat. I know this because I lived on a farm for a couple of weeks when I was studying permaculture. And I was amazed to see first thing in the morning at the crack of dawn, these goats suffering if they didn't get milked because they had so much to give, all this milk to give, that it started to hurt their udders if it wasn't released. If you're suffering, it's because you're not giving your gift. If you're depressed, anxious, miserable, one of the big components is what you're here to give, your purpose. When we are not giving what we're here to deliver, it can literally stifle our life force. And when our life force is stifled, we hurt and we suffer just like the goat on that farm. Every religion basically points to the fact that when we are born, we are brought into this world with a specific code or a specific gift, a specific purpose that we are here to initiate and complete and fulfill. Jewish culture believes that when you are born, the name that you're given is no mistake. Look up your name, look up the meaning of it. You might discover a correlation between your name and what you're actually here to do. In all these different cultures, traditions, religions, they all point to the same thing. You, me, we are here to do something miraculous, something given to us from a much deeper, wiser place. The question is, why do you consider not giving the thing that lights up your heart, which, by the way, is a very clear clue to what you're here to do? If it lights you up, if it energizes you, if it inspires you, if you feel energized after involving yourself in that particular thing, that is very clearly part of your life's purpose. I'll give you an example. When I was a little girl, I believed that I wanted to be an actress. That was that first divine spark for me. I want to be an actress, a singer, a dancer, a performer. And this is how we find our purpose. We start to follow those divine sparks. We get sparked up, not from some outer substance, but from within, because our calling is calling us forward. How do I know? How do you know? How do we know? Because we get really excited about something. But life has talked us out of what we want so many times as kids. No, you heard the word no a lot. No, I want this. No, I want that. No, I have a dream. No, not realistic. We're talked out of what we know we're here to do or what we want so many times that eventually we learn to just stifle our clarity. You know exactly what you're here to do and you know it's time to do it. And now is more important than ever that we all rise up and give our gifts. Why do we stop? So, for example, I knew I wanted to be an actress. That was my first spark, divine spark. As soon as I could get on stage, I did at 3 years old, 4 years old, 11 years old, performing on stages in theater. Then I was extraordinarily shy in my older teen years and early 20s, but I kept going to acting school. Even though I was working in the corporate world, secretly at night, I was doing theater and I was studying my craft. I was studying acting. Eventually, that divine spark, which was acting, which was so exciting and it was so intense and it was so hard for me, but I kept going. I would black out on stage. I wouldn't even remember what happened. I would beat myself up, criticize myself. I never felt good enough on stage. I never felt like a good enough actor, but something in me pulled me forward to keep trying and keep growing and keep learning and keep showing up, falling and getting back up. Eventually, that spark, one day, it was 2009, I was standing at the edge of a stage, actually playing Eurydice, the title role in the play Eurydice, which is an incredible play. I was standing at the edge of the stage and I had broken the fourth wall. I was talking to the audience as the director had directed me to do. And it was maybe the 30th night that I had been on stage delivering the same exact monologue to a different audience. That night, my spark of inspiration to be an actress went out. And a new spark woke up, okay? And this is how we know our purpose. One spark will lead to another spark, will lead to another spark, but it's your mission, it's my mission to keep acting on that spark, on that calling, on that inspiration, on that which levitates us, elevates us, rises us into energy, excitement, inspiration. As I was standing at the edge of that stage, giving the same exact words I had given a million times, seemingly. I looked out in the audience and my eyes caught with a man, an older man. His eyes were very soft, and I wondered, who is he? And then I looked to his side and there was an older woman sitting next to him, and I thought, wow, she has so much life in her face and her eyes. And I'm so curious, like, what's inside of her? And I was literally silent. I was supposed to be giving a monologue, and what seemed like eternity was probably 20 seconds that I remained silent, looking at the audience deeply. And I realized I no longer wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be standing on that stage, and I wanted to ask them, what's in you? What's inside your heart? What's your calling? What's your life experience? I want to know. I could see like there was this latent gold in all of these people sitting in the audience looking for inspiration up here when really it was in there. And my calling shifted, my spark opened up, a new one, a next spark. And I thought, oh my God, I want to give transformational talks. I want to be an inspirational speaker. I want to be standing on a stage like this, not reading someone else's lines. I want to be asking questions. I want to be delivering inspired content that comes in the moment. And that was the last play I did, because the next step of my calling, that next spark was illuminated. And this is how your calling works. And so I kept going, and then the next year I heard about something called YouTube. It blew my freaking mind. YouTube, oh my God, I can publish a video on YouTube and instantly people from all around the world could watch and access what I have to say. I posted my first video. I saw there were 4 views. I think the next day I was blown away. And I saw the first like and the first comment and the first subscriber, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing from there. My calling to be an inspirational speaker, my calling to be somebody who ignites people into transformation through my words and questions, etc., was happening. However, my real calling was to be on stage and to deliver the gifts that I'm here to deliver in person. It's been years and years and years, and I have basically given everything to an online business. And I'm going to share with you right now from my personal experience in diving in these last few days to see my own hangups, to see what has been holding me back from that next level of my dream, to be speaking in person, to be giving transformational experiences around the world in person. I will tell you what I realized. The reason you, me, we stop moving forward, or we get stifled, or things don't seem to be going at the pace or momentum we want them to be, is because it requires an old part of us to die in order to live our dreams. It requires an old part of us to die in order to live our dreams. What I realized over these last few days, I went through a bit of a depression and anxiety, which I hadn't experienced in years. So what did I do? I do what I do best. Turned off technology, dove straight into it. What I used to run from, I go into face on so I can really see what the message is, what's trying to happen. And instead of trying to get out of the depression or anxiety, I relax into it and I use my skills and my willingness to be with myself, befriend myself, to uncover the gem. There is always a gem in depression. There is always a gem in anxiety. There is always a gem in fear, anger, rage, you name it. The gem is hidden, and it's up to us to uncover that gem, okay? So what I discovered is that an old part of me needed to die as my as my gem falls away, because a diamond is being born, apparently. We're upgrading, people, we're upgrading. So I sat with it and I realized, oh my God, in order to move into the vision that my soul is really wanting to move into, I've got to drop the people pleasing. I've got to drop the disease of trying to fit in. I've got to stop being nice, playing small, careful, in order to make sure that you like me. And yes, I have all those facets: nice, kind, caring, compassionate, quiet, soft-spoken, very sensitive, all of these things. And if I am to step into my calling, my purpose, my dream, the old snake skin that has been constricting me, that is no longer a fit, needs to fall away. If you've been finding yourself feeling stuck, depressed, anxious, struggling in some way, is it possible that an old version of you is needing to be released so that the new you can be born? Is it possible that an old version of you is ready to die And I don't mean you, I mean a partial identity you've been walking around being, trying to be, believing yourself to be. And this truer, more full version of you is asking to come out, is asking to emerge, but you haven't been letting yourself. Suffering is holding so tight to what's familiar, holding so tight to what I believe myself to be. You see, going where I'm going, headed where I'm headed, I have to risk not being liked. I have to risk the fact that I am also moody as Shabib. I am angry sometimes, bitchy. I am extraordinarily kind and loving and peaceful and present. I am the whole diamond. I am all of it. The suffering and the struggle comes when we try to be one facet. And this is what our culture mistakenly teaches us to be a certain way. You need to be a nice girl, or you need to be a strong man. You can't cry. You need to be this and you cannot be that. This creates insanity in our world and a tremendous amount of pain and suffering. Did you know that by 2030, it is estimated that anxiety and depression are slated to be the #1 disease state by the World Health Organization, okay? That doesn't need to be the case. The reason is we are a split culture. We're moving on a partial identity, on a lie, when in reality, we are human. It's beautiful. We experience the whole gamut, right? And I've made a million videos on this. If you have been thinking about giving up on your purpose, if you have been thinking about not doing the thing you know you're here to do, I want you to ask yourself this question. What have I been trying desperately for others not to see about me? What have I been terrified to step into out of fear that others will judge me as blank? You fill in the blank. What is the thing I've been repressing about myself? Gulp, because that's what we do. Hold it down. Once you clarify that, and it is a process, it can be a very deep experience, which is what I do in my work with clients and our students, is once you get clear on that, then it's time to own it. The point where we gotta let go of that old skin and gotta trust life. Something needs to die so you can live your life. Some version of you, some clinging to, some limitation needs to die in order to fully step into your dream. And that's scary. There are two types of people in this world. One, the person who believes, yes, I have a purpose and I have plenty of time to figure it out and go out there and live it eventually. Those people eventually realize that it never comes. The dream never comes. The dream never happens. Why? Because tomorrow doesn't come. There is no tomorrow. There's only right now. The regrets of the dying, if you've ever read that article, #1 regret is that they didn't do the thing they were here to do. They didn't live freely. They were living based on what other people thought they should be, or in a partial identity, etc. The second type of person, and this is possibly you, likely you if you're subscribed to my channel, is that you know that now is the time. You cannot wait a moment longer. There's this burning desire in you to give what you're here to give. Just like that goat, like, please milk me, right? Like there's just a knowing now is the time. If that is you, and you know that it is time, and you also know that you need help, I am opening up 7 spaces for purpose breakthrough calls with me. These are complimentary calls. I am actually opening up 3 spaces in my private coaching practice, which you guys have never seen me do, I don't think, because I don't normally do it. I don't even advertise my private coaching on my website. Most of what I do is group work. So I am called to support 3 people. One of those people might be you, in breaking through and living your purpose, seeing it through, completing what you're here to complete, giving the gift you're here to deliver, and doing so with gusto and joy and freedom and a deep level of self-care, because that's what's going to be required in order to give at the level that you're here to give at. So if this is something that interests you, check out the link below, click on the link, and that'll take you to a scheduling page. Schedule a 30-minute complimentary call with me. There are 7 spaces right now, and we will jump on the phone this Thursday or Friday. I will support you in clarifying what that specific snake skin is for you, what is that block, and also what your next action is, and then we'll see if we can work together, okay? If I can support you. I work with people over a 6-month, 1-year period of time. I like to do the deep work. Obviously, transformation takes time. I want to see you rise. If you have clicked on this video, it's time. And if you ever question, why don't I just give up? What's the point? What's the purpose? I'm going to tell you that there is a very secret, sneaky block inside that's filling your brain with bullshit, telling you that you're not good enough, everyone else is already saying it, or you don't really have anything to give, or you're not strong enough to give, or first you have to heal yourself and you stay a seeker forever rather than a creator. All of that is a very sneaky way of staying in that comfort zone, and that's the only reason it's happening. When you breathe and realize there's simply a larger version of yourself that it's time to claim, and it's actually quite liberating to claim. So if you want help on your path and you want me to support you, I'm the author of The Diamond Process. This is the work I do. I train coaches also to become Diamond Process coaches. I open myself to you. I open myself to bringing your dream into this world, to supporting you in any way I can. So click that link below. And I love you guys with all of my heart. If you have not seen my life purpose video, I'm gonna link it up here somewhere. If you don't know what your purpose is and you're like, oh, I don't even know what my purpose is, click that and it guides you through a process to explore 5 questions that help you uncover your purpose. But if you know what your purpose is and you're tired of holding yourself back and you're ready to move forward, claim one of these 7 spots, and I will see you on Thursday or Friday. And to everyone else, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.